Western Conference Player of the Week. Followed that up with a hell of a performance. That's one of the best performances I've been a part of. What Kevin Durant did tonight, that was special, including the game winner, the double clutch 17-footer. I haven't seen a shot like that. That's pretty awesome.
Which leads me to ask, they were both Kevin was just talking about you went with the same play, but then when they committed the foul, intentional foul, but they read it, and then Nurkic made the pass. Maybe just take me through how you were viewing that last sequence.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we just want to get KD the ball and try to get the last shot. And, with all denials, first play of the game, last play of the game, start of quarters, we just we play through the big and then back cut. The guy that's being denied. To burn, call it flash burn, flash the big, burn on the backside. And, those guys executed it when we needed it the most. And he did a ridiculous shot.
You've seen Kevin do it so many times, but tonight, was it just maybe just take me through the emotion of all that was going on in the game and then him do what he did at the end?
Yeah, I mean, the emotions are all positive right now. We got a great deal of belief that's building with our group and our togetherness and our cohesion. The way we were in the fight together in those huddles and, everybody pulling in the same direction. Not losing their mind when things weren't going our way, which a lot of times that happens. Guys just kept trying to figure out the game. And credit the Bulls. They came out and gave us their best shot. We have a team that we're going to get a lot of teams' best shot. And those guys played terrific. They made threes. They brought defensive pressure. They played a terrific game. But, we stayed together. We learned last week against Sacramento that, we're never out of a game. We don't give up. And we knew we were going to have a chance if we stay with it.
You've been sticking with Cato a little bit off the bench the past little while. He was involved with a couple, could have gone either way, types of fouls and everything else. But what have you seen from him in terms of impacting the game? Yeah, I mean, he's a guy. It's all matchup based. With how I'm using my bench right now, and Cato did a great job with DeRozan in Chicago throughout the game, but also with the game on the line. Getting 2 stops on him, and we knew that this would be a good game for him with Eric Gordon being out. And need to go a little deeper into our bench. It'd be a good game for him, and he came in and hit a big 3, made some good plays off the bounce. Played within himself offensively, but brought a defensive disposition that really helped us win.
Apologies if this was asked already, Coach, but just the chemistry you've seen between Nurk and Durant, Kevin said after that play isn't necessarily one by design, just read and react. When did you notice Nurk developing that type of chemistry with the primary threats on offense? Yeah,
I mean, the action is not just with Nurk, it's with anybody that's being denied, but Nurk's a great passer. You know what I mean? So our guys have confidence to hit him. If we can't get the ball where we want to go, we can hit Nurk, and everybody's in movement at that point. And he's got great size, great hands, and great vision, to make those types of passes. And he made a hell of a pass to KD for a big-time shot. But I think that's one of the first things we recognized when we saw Nurk play with our group is, him and KD have had great backdoor timing very early on.
Coach, can you talk to me a little bit about how critical your bench was tonight, especially on the second night of a back-to-back?
Yeah, that's where you need them. That's where you need them the most. Starters played heavy minutes last night. You could see that with we were just a step slow to a lot of things. A lot of shots were short in the first half, and that's part of why we created that deficit that we had. But Drew Eubanks in particular, I want to shout him out. He's had a rough stretch, where he hasn't played his best basketball, but he's been staying with it, working and getting with the coaches and watching film, and I keep having one-on-one conversations with him to make sure he's staying lifted and how valuable he is. And he came in and that was his best game of the year for us. His energy really changed the game. We were able to get a lot more aggressive with the pick and roll coverages, and we've been really working with him when the ball finds him in the pocket against double teams, making the right reads. And he made some great plays, with those situations. So he was great, but our whole bench, was a big factor in the game.
Frank, what is this season with all the kind of ups and downs that's taught you as a coach? How do you feel like you've grown and learned about yourself just in this season?
About myself, I mean, it's just a different challenge. Like what I've done in the past means nothing. You know, it's this is what have you done lately type of league, and we have a new challenge with a new group. That our group has a lot of guys that have accomplished a lot of things throughout their career, but none of us have accomplished it together. You know what I mean? So we all have something to prove, and I'm excited about where this is going.
Coach, when you look at the challenges that you've had all season of calling for a challenge, Kevin was just saying the bench was saying, "Whoa, don't do that," and you stuck with it. Maybe just speak to why you were sticking with that challenge.
Guts. I mean, not guts, but instincts. You know what I mean? Using your gut. You know, a lot of these things are so close. They could go either way. And quite frankly, there's a lot of times where I just ask myself, if I lose, like I might want to take a timeout anyway, you know, because our guys looked a little gassed, and it might be good to just sit them down for a little bit, get their legs back under them, and you know, sometimes that's a factor. But you know, we have a great group behind our bench. Justin Maxey, our video coordinator, and John Pastorik, our assistant coach, work together to study the replay, and they give me the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and most times I just roll with what they're saying because they're looking at it. I get to see it on the board some, and I also, you know, have an upfront look at it in person. You know, so it's a combination of all those factors.
Kevin, it's crazy that it came down to that at the end, because before the game, Coach Donovan was saying that you lean into those moments, that you're not running from those moments. Just maybe speak to not running from that moment and wanting the shot and getting in to make it happen.
I mean, it's basketball at the end of the day, man. It's not too serious. I know these games are high stakes, and it's a lot on the line, but at the end of the day, it's still hooping. So in the moments, I try to be as calm as I can and execute the game plan, really. And it's a fun game, man. Chicago presents a tough challenge because they press you all game. They top 5 in the league and turning teams over. They got small guards that can penetrate and shoot. So, you know, I feel like this whole week we've been having to, you know, play against so many different types of teams. That's just preparing us to, you know, as we, you know, head down to this, you know, second half of the season. So it's a fun game.
Do you take a moment to enjoy those moments, or, you know, like I saw you celebrating with the crowd,
Yeah.
you take a chance to like digest it in you know, a celebratory way, or not?
I mean, if it's a timeout or something, you know, and get a chance to take it in for a couple seconds as I'm walking to the huddle, and then I got to worry about the next play, you know. So let's try to have that next play mentality, but also understand and stay present. Understand what I'm doing and also stay present, you know, and, you know, try to keep that momentum I have as well. So it's a balance you got to have, but I like the next play mentality that I grew tonight.
Last thing I had was the pass from Nurkic. How big was that for you to scramble a little bit and find it?
Huge. I mean, everybody in the gym knew the ball was coming to me, and especially Caruso. He's such a smart defender. He jumped it. Him and DeRozan, I think, kind of shadowed it a little bit out, you know, out of bounds pass, and Nurk made himself available, and we work on that back door so many times in game and practice. So I seen Caruso flying too, so I had to double pump just a little bit, but I'm glad it went in.
After coming off a back-to-back, you guys kind of started off a little bit slow. Defensive rotations were a little bit slow. What was a seminal moment in the third quarter that kind of snapped things back into place for you guys?
I feel like I could have, early in the game, I had like 3 or 4 wide open threes in the first half that I thought could have settled us down, or guys making great plays, penetrating to the lane, get me a 3, and I just brick it. And I felt like that's, you know, a couple of those they ran out for layups as well. So I felt like that was the momentum right there. If I'd have hit 2 or 3 of those threes, we'd have went into the half down probably 10 or 9, and that's just a whole different game. So it's a make or miss league. I always say that. They made shots in that first half. They got hot. Made, I think, 10 threes that first half, and we couldn't get none up. We couldn't make any, and, you know, I was 0 for 6 in the first half and 6 for 15. So we made 14 threes as a whole and got back up to 40% from the 3. I think we made shots in that second half.
Kevin, initially you got fouled by Caruso. He goes to the sideline out of bounds. Was that Nurk improvising, or did you guys have that play?
Yeah, I mean, we was gonna run the same play again where I just got it out top and just go. We knew they had a foul to give, so we knew they were gonna foul. But like I said, Caruso is a smart defender, and he's seen the play coming and they jumped it a little bit. So Nurk, being smart as he is, to always flash when I get denied, and I was able to get a nice backdoor.
Do you remember a moment, maybe back in training camp, when you realized you had that chemistry with Nurk and you were going to be able to move and he'd see it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we both know each other games from playing against each other for over the years. I know he likes to pass over the top. And I'm sure in the scouting reports playing against me that backdoors, you had to be worried about my backdoors coming out the corner anywhere on the floor. So, yeah, and then once the first time it happened, it's been an easy connection since then. I think it was preseason the first time we did it.
You were in your normal shooting motion and you had to move the ball forward. Was that because you felt Caruso?
Yeah, I happened to see him late. I'm like, oh, they're gonna give me a wide open pull up in the left and at the elbow, and then I just, for some reason, I just seen him on my peripheral. I just seen somebody flying so hard, and I just tried to get a good one up, and it felt great leaving my hands.
That's not something you practice, right?
Nah, you seen the Kobe's and the Michael Jordans when you get a good contest. So I try to watch them a lot, and it's guys contest me pretty well. So sometimes I can bring that out.
Kevin, congrats on the game winner.
Thank
You
you.
back-to-back 40-point games, just won Western Conference Player of the Week. Can you talk to me about how you've had such good longevity throughout your career?
Just great teammates, great coaches, great teachers and mentors that poured into me, and I love the game. I love to work out. I love to play in the summers and my off season. So I'm always thinking about the game too. So I think that just keeps me in it, keeps me energized. It's about your energy level at this point as you get older, and I enjoy coming into work every day.
The crowd really responded to that tech on Drummond, and then Drew himself responded. How did you see both the crowd and Drew help you guys in?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point of emphasis. If Andre gets you under the paint in a compromised position, try to wrap him up best as you can and put him on the free throw line. And I understand why I played with Dre. I understand why he, that foul was pretty hard. I can understand why he was upset at it, and I understand why Drew took the foul as well. So it's just part of the game, and sometimes the ref need to get in there and give us some text just so we can kind of clear that up. And they got past it and was able to play a physical, clean game after that. And I think Drew's minutes tonight were so incredible. Love what he did. He just turned the game for us on both ends, finishing around the rim, being aggressive in pick and roll. I love what he did, and hopefully we continue to keep building on that.
You mentioned the turnovers and how they can do that. So I think you guys only had 7 tonight, and I know you're
That's
comfortable
incredible.
with range in some of these games, but that's a really low number. What do you think was the key there?
I mean, 32 assists, 7 turnovers, man. I mean, we stayed patient. We didn't try to run into a crowd, and like I said, coaches, that was the emphasis before the game, and that this team is one of the best teams at turning you over. They got some of the best guards in the league on the defensive side with JC, Javon Carter, Caruso, Io. They do such a great job of getting their hands in the passing lane. So I guess we were just extra cautious tonight, and instead of turnover, we got shots up.
How
Jimmy,
challenging
sorry
is
if
it
you've already
when you're-
been asked this, but you guys didn't take your first lead until about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. What is it about this team that just allowed you to stick with it and get it done?
Yeah, I think we were confident because I was missing threes. I think we got some. We were like 4 for 14 or something like that in the first, and they had made 12 of them, I think, or 10. I don't know the number, but it was double digits. And when you look at that and pretty much everything pretty much even, and you see that they just making more shots than you, I think we were confident that we could generate the same looks. We'll knock them down in the second half. And we also changed our pick and roll coverage and got a little bit more pressure on the ball, and we was able to get some stops and force them to tough shots and get out on the break.
That high pick and roll, Kevin, that you guys run with you or Book or Beal, how's that facilitate the offense? What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, just try to put the defense in a tough position. They got to make a decision. Either they're going to play a drop coverage, and we can come down clean and get our shots off and get in the paint, or they're going to trap us out 30, 32, 33 feet from the basket, and now our bigs are making decisions now in the pocket. Either they can get a layup or kick out for a 3. And you're seeing that's what Drew did to get us the lead up 3 to Grayson. They trapped it, and he swung it quick, and we work on that every day. And so we try to make teams pay if they're gonna blitz us all the way out there.
Kevin, how aggressive Vogel with the challenges? What do you think about how aggressive he is with those?
I think the one on DeMar.
Yeah.
It was one where the refs where the coaching staff was like, no, I don't challenge it, and Frank still challenged it and ended up winning. And I think that was incredible on his part to stick with it and try to put us in a good position. And he's been great with the challenges all season, to be honest. And I feel like he doesn't call them unless he for sure knows that we're gonna win. And that was a huge play.
6 straight wins, longest road trip of the season coming up right after this. How much can this do for a team in your experience, getting on the right page as soon as you're leaving home for a couple weeks?
Yeah, that's important for us to finish this off before we go on this long road trip. This is an important trip for us where we get to bond more as a team, but also showcase on the road in the tough environments what we made of. And our last couple of road games, we played New Orleans and I forget who we played before that. Portland. You know, we played 2 solid games on the road, so we try to build off of that and keep that momentum. And I love where we are. I mean, 25-18, man. It was just a week or so ago. It felt like we were 1 game, 2 games over 500. So, you know, we trending in the right direction.
You said it recently that you embrace the struggle in this game like this, where in the second quarter you were down, your head was down, and your body language kind of sulked.
Mine's?
This is the type of example of that.
My body language was bad?
It seemed that it looked like that coming out of bounds.
You analyzing my body language that deep? Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game, and sometimes you can't help but to drop your shoulders when they make a tough shot or we get a turnover. I think that's just a natural human reaction, and I'm not going to be excited and smiling if we get down 20 points, you know what I'm saying? So, but we got good intentions always. We try to just, you know, go out there and play hard every possession and see what happens, and it was able to turn for us, and coaches did a great job of, you know, implementing game plans that's going to help us, you know, that helped us get back into the game. We simplified the offense, and defensively we were more aggressive. So, yeah, I mean, you know, once the game started to turn, our crowd got into it. Crowd was insane tonight, insane. And they could have booed us early on. They did that before in the season, and we understood, but they stuck with us and gave us some extra energy to finish this game out.
Kevin, I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid score 70. Cat had 60.
70?
Yeah, Joel had 70 today.
58 through 3.
Yeah, 70?
Yeah. So what did nights like tonight mean in the NBA?
Shit. I seen Cat have 40 at half. I mean, the skill level in this league is insane, and actually the coaching, the schemes on offense is insane. You're seeing so many different sets being run for bigs to get threes. I mean, coaches are being way more creative to put their best players in great positions to get those numbers. And you got shooters all around the floor. You got penetrators. I mean, this is the peak of basketball in my opinion. You're seeing it with guys doing. I mean, come on, man. Our bigs. We got bigs in the league getting 70 and 60, making 9, 10 threes, shooting pull-up jump shot. I mean, it's insane what we got going on.
You're wondering about the third quarter moment when you came in and that technical foul, what happened between you and Andre. It seemed like it was a game-changing moment for you guys in terms of getting the crowd energy up and also pretty much just making sure that you guys are still in it, even though you were down by as much as 23.
Yeah, I think just it's the second night of a back-to-back. Came out a little flat. They knew we were on a back-to-back too, so they were trying to run us up and down the court. I don't know exactly what I did on the technical, but the crowd saw it on the big screen. I don't think just the way the night went, they weren't like gonna just give into that. That kind of got them going, and then I ended up fouling Drummond underneath the basket, and he ended up pushing me, and it just kind of got the crowd into it, and we were able to make the run. But no, the crowd tonight, we definitely had home court advantage for sure.
Yeah, with you coming in and you and Kevin working together to spark that run that you had in the third, how pivotal was it with basically getting Kevin and having those rebounds and those back-to-back dunks to pretty much give you guys a new rapid of life?
Yeah, no, he did a great job of finding me. My job right now on this team is get them open, roll hard, make the defense collapse in, and find shooters. And, they were hugged up on their guys, and KD did a great job of finding me underneath. So just trying to find that chemistry with some of the rotations. Sometimes guys will play, sometimes they won't. It's next man up mentality. So he did a great job of being a scorer and a distributor for sure.
Frank had mentioned before he got done talking is how he was giving you shout-outs about your mental state and making sure that you are still poised beyond looking at the amount of minutes that you haven't gotten in the past couple of weeks, or just the amount of the performance that hasn't been there like in the start of the season. How important have those conversations been with you and Frank?
Huge. This is my sixth year in the league, and I can say for sure every single year has presented its own unique challenges and roadblocks in the way. And just when you think you have it figured out, or you know what to expect, you're in a different situation on a different team, and it's different challenges every night. So for guys that stick around in the league, you got to be ready every single night, and you have to be ready to go out and play and bring energy and do what the team needs you to do. And so that's just what I got to keep reminding myself is this is a new year, new experience, new expectations, and you just kind of got to keep an open mind and always stay ready. And that's not me getting on my high horse because I had a good game. That's just how I approach every single game, and that's how 1 through 17 or 18 or however many guys we have on this team, everybody on this team can play. But we have a very talented team, so sometimes it might not be Nas's night, may not be my night, may not be J.O.'s night, but we got guys who can play, and we just got to stay ready.
Frank said this is your best night as a Phoenix Sun playing, and do you agree with that?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, if he says so.
You had mentioned just keeping an open mind. What else has been key for you, just staying ready as a player for your opportunity?
Yeah, like I said, it's just you never know what to expect. Like I played 78 games last year, meaningful minutes on a playoff hopeful team, and then I get an opportunity on a championship hopeful team, and I thought I played with Dame, I played with a superstar, and I'm like, okay, like I know how to do that. Like I can play with three, but it's a whole new monster playing with three superstars, and you got a lot of intricacies you got to figure out, and you always got to be a learner. And just because training camp's over, that doesn't mean the work stops. You got to continue to get better, continue to work on your craft, and that's how I've been able to stay in the league for as long as I have, and hopefully I can keep going.
With being a learner in particular, KD coming off a new season high, 43 points, 40 apiece last night. What do you learn from him, and what do you continue to learn from him, and just the caliber of player he is?
Get him open, screen his guy, get him open, and he'll 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 he'll make the right play. So I'm trying to work that chemistry with him and get him to trust me more, and just get him to do his thing, really.
Drew, how much did you sense that your hard foul on Andre not only turned momentum but got the crowd really?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a hard foul. He was a foul guy. He gets underneath the rim. We got to foul him, send him to the line. I've had my battles with him over the last couple of years. We got a mutual respect for each other. I mean, I got to hit him. He's huge, so I had to lower my shoulder and try to get some. Whether we're boxing out or he gets underneath, I got to hit him hard because he's a big guy. So I think the technical that I got the crowd into it, and then him pushing me in the back and not saying anything by that, but him pushing me and him getting the technical, I think really got the crowd into it.
How much did you, because you started finishing around the back, how much did that fuel you, that sequence to do what you ended up doing?
Yeah, I'm an energy guy. I feel like if I get like a couple plays going, I touch the ball a little bit, block a shot, get a rebound, get a steal, dunk, like I think that snowballs for me. So like I was telling you earlier, I just got to trying to find that rhythm and that chemistry with Book, KD, and Brad, and everybody else out there to, hey, like I'm available too. Like, I'm trying to get them open, but I'm here too. So.
Your tech wasn't really clear in the moment. What was that for exactly? What was the explanation?
I think Carl said I pushed him in the back on a rebound, but it was like very incidental. And he was like, I may have missed that. Like that's my bad, but it is what it is. It happens.
Your physical play makes you no stranger to those types of scuffles, and just remaining calm in that moment, not even after the shove, you didn't react at all. Where does that kind of focus come from? Because as Book was saying in the locker room, it's an emotional game, and you can get emotional.
Yeah, years and games of going over the top, especially in college and in the G League, and being in those moments has taught me you got to play angry, you got to play aggressive, but you can't go over the top, and you can't do anything that's going to put your team in trouble or anything. And like I said, I was just trying to hit him so he couldn't get the shot up and foul him. And I think just the way the game was going for them, it was emotional for him, and it got the better of him, best of him. in that moment. And so I was just like, I just got a technical on the previous play. I'm just turn around and show my hand. So.
How do you get that vote of confidence from the coach, with like 5 minutes left in the game, when he calls you back in, you had a phenomenal shift, and he'll have you out there to close it as well?
What was I thinking, or would you? Sorry.
Just how made you feel the vote of confidence that you get from your coach, that like not
Oh,
only did you
yeah.
have that great shift, like we want you to come back in for New York too.
Yeah, no, I mean, it made me feel good. I'm very confident in what I can do and what I bring to the team. And so to get that confidence from Frank to put me back out there, it meant a lot.
Your block, or was it Kevin's block on DeMar's dunk attempt?
Ooh, I don't know. Who did they give that to?
They gave it to Kevin, but.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, I'm sure they
They
gave it to him.
gave credit to you.
Yeah.
And on the box, they gave it to Kevin.
Yeah,
So who do you think?
Good for Kevin.
It's yours?
he's got enough. He's got enough.
So was there a game within the game with, on one of your dunks, I believe you started talking to, Andre a little bit, and he started laughing down the court, on that next goal possession. And also he caused that turnover on him when he lost the ball out of bounds towards the end of the third. So would you say that that's kind of a mental role won by you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, we got respect for one another. We both play hard. We're both physical. That's on our business card. So, we got the technical, and you could kind of, the crowd was fueling it too, and I may have just been playing into the crowd and the flow of the game, but yeah, you're right. And there's mental intricacies.
Thanks, Drew.